So hello everyone and welcome to the Ero F5 Austrian Grand Prix, where it is absolutely chucking it down. In this qualifying session we have 14 drivers today, although 2 more should be joining at some point. Haven't heard word from them unfortunately, but yeah, back again after an exciting round last time out at Britain, in which Stevie took the checkered flag behind JD Bailey and I believe Sweet Blues, who is not able to race due to an external commitment. Looking great today. Jamal Jacques is still with the lead in the championship, although his teammate Robin Grebbers is not able to race, so his teammate for today will be CV Deezer. We're just watching the drivers. They'll be selecting their setups now, obviously slightly adjusting considering the wet weather and the effect it has obviously on grip, on traction and on the car wear, ERS, etc, etc. Everyone has to adjust for that. I'm not sure what will be happening in the race. I've been told it's dry by Jacques, so we've got a dry race to look forward to, which makes setups a little bit more interesting to pick. Actually, will drivers go for qualifying pace? As you see, Milan in the garage, he'll be the first driver out of the pits. But yeah, will drivers choose to favour a dry or a wet setup? Have to wait and see really, as Milan has decided not to turn the pit limiter off. Someone just hit the wall. I'm not sure if that was an AlphaTauri making contact with the wall, the AlphaTauri of JD Bailey. Either way, he looks to be fine. But yeah, it's interesting to see what setup balance will be like as yeah, more and more drivers are emerging from the pits. The thing about Austria anyway is that you can go for 2 laps in a row with minimal fuel, and in the wet that extends even more as less ERS is used. So yeah, expect to see drivers going for big consecutive runs, as the tyre wear is almost minimal in the inters as well, as is my experience from a wet qualifying session here. It's interesting to see as well if the rain will stay constant, if it will dry out towards the end. I mean, right now it looks to be bucketing it down, but there's always the chance that it will just completely disappear at the end of qualifying and everyone will be rushing in to get their lap on the slick tyres. Going to go on board with, I believe, Milan now. He's just coming through the last corner. He'll be looking to take it carefully, and he has not invalidated on the run up to the last corner. There's a spin further back, I believe that's Palsio. But see Milan coming up, braking just at the 100 metre board, quite tentative actually, very cautious from Milan. He's actually run wide on the exit, so we're going to switch over to JD Bailey, who seems to have had no such problems. Of course, a double podium sitter now, doing very well, maybe even ready to make a late charge towards the championship if he can keep up the good form. So that's a 17.6, sorry, in the first sector. But he's really outbraked himself into the hairpin and taking a lot of outside curb, which will compromise his run all the way down his back straight. Let's see if he can get it hooked up any better. Through turn 4 now, looks to be a little bit cautious towards the apex and actually misses it, outbraking himself a little bit, so a little bit awkward for JD Bailey here. See how he takes this next corner, turn 7, again just sort of edging towards the apex, not really sweeping into it as much as you can. It's a 50.5 split, which of course being the wet, I do not know how competitive that is. But yeah, tentative on the traction is Bailey. Let's see what he does through these last 2 corners. Can he send the car a little bit more than he already has? It looks to be very cautious in general, which I think is fair enough considering he probably hasn't tried these conditions very much. But that's a nice run through there. He's going to do about a 113.3 is Bailey. Let's see how that lines up compared to that Stevie coming through. So Stevie, last week's race winner. That looked much nicer through there, much more committed from the Indian man, but I think he might have made a mistake earlier in the lap because it doesn't look like he's going to beat Bailey. He is actually with a 112.9, but I think there's definitely going to be that improvement in there for Stevie. Brakes quite early, goes over the curb quite nicely. Let's see what Joao Santos can do. He's also done a 13.3, very close to Bailey. Stevie sets a 17.8 in the first sector, so it's slightly down. Luke Robertson does a 12.6 and Palsio jumps him, so a 112.6. And Stevie's actually hit the wall and he's lost all of his front wing. Just a little bit of edgy on the traction, and Stevie has really damaged his car and he's going to make an awkward run all the way back to the pits. Now let's see what Filippo does. Pole sitter in the last 2 races, and yeah, he moves up to P3, 12.8. It's a good lap from Filip Kita, the Polish driver, although for him qualifying's really been much more of a strength than race pace. He had a few incidents in both races, and just hoping to see if he can translate the quali pace into race pace. He's actually a 10th up already on this lap, so we're going to continue on with him. Hooks up the apex fairly nicely. Mark has got out of the way well. Traction control kicking in on the exit of that apex. Let's see how he sweeps into turn 5 then, using a nice wide line. Getting down to second again, just runs slightly wide of the apex and takes a little bit of inside curb. So it's not too ideal for him. Just edging through there, but it actually looks decent through there. And yeah, so he's about a 10th and a half up. He's found a little bit more time in the lap. Flat out through the kink of turn 8 and 9. No, sorry, this is turn 9, comes through there, takes a lot of curb on the inside, looking nice, already flat on the throttle. Through the last corner in 4th there, this is definitely going to be a big improvement for Felipe. The last sector was brilliant, and he does swoop to the top of the standings with a 112.4. It's a really nice lap. See if anyone else is that CV Deezer, so he's at a 14.7, he's quite far behind. Looks up a little into turn 1, but decent exit actually on traction. Let's see if he's gained much time there. So yeah, already 5/10 up, so clearly a mistake earlier on in his lap. So he's in second gear. A little bit shake on the exit, only just gets the throttle down now completely. Not the worst I've seen, certainly. Oh, he's really gone wide of the apex there. Careful not to lock up, maybe a little bit too careful. But he knows that you can go flat here. Again, tentative towards the apex is Luke Robertson. He hits the 12.5, moves himself up into second. Deez is actually 1.6 seconds up, so he's on to going to about P6 now, but I think he'll be finding some more time through the last 2 corners here. 5th gear through the right-hander, and then the second right-hander he takes in 4th nicely, down on the throttle relatively early, and Deez is going to go into P6 at the 113.1, so he wasn't able to find any time. Is Bailey also, he looks like he's about to go fastest. Yes, he is, with a 112.4, just 200ths faster than Filippo, sorry. So yeah, these guys really showing some decent competition. Bailey's gone for another lap, and he's actually taken the first corner beautifully there. Nice second early on the flower of power. It's good stuff from Bailey, the Brit, looking to continue his run of good form, as I said earlier. Xhaka's crossing the line, and he goes P3. Unsurprisingly, the race pace master, who has, I mean, seriously some of the best race pace I've seen in league racing for a while, especially against the competition. As you see, Bailey again tentative through the apex, not sweeping into it as much as he might like. To see if he's down by a 10th and a half. So unless you can find some serious time through here, he will not be improving. See if he chooses to go into the pits. Yes, so he's going to box this lap then. He's going to stick on a fresh set of tyres and hopefully go again, try and find some improvement. Deezer goes up into P3, again at 12.4, improves by 6/10. So it's a Red Bull 3-4 right now, and he's spun the car, but he manages to lock his wheels in time. So he is safe from the wall. Don't know who's going out. I believe it's Filippo, so we'll watch him when he crosses the line. Milan's at a 50.4, but that's not too shabby, and yeah, he's 7th with a 112.8. Let's see if Iron Knight, he's actually done a very similar middle sector time, maybe even exactly the same to Milan. Looked quite wide through there. Oh, and he just invalidates on the inside. Xhaka, P1, a 112.1, getting closer and closer to that 111 mark. Iron Knight is just about saved the car. That's a lovely save from him, well done. Really, really close to the barrier was the Greek man. But yeah, Xhaka, impressive, as always. And he's backed out of his lap, so he's not going for 2 consecutive. Stevie, let's see what he does. Only P7, the Indian will definitely be looking to get up the grid. Mark goes into P2 with a 112.3. Stevie's slightly up on his time, but yeah, great job from Mark. I wouldn't have expected that from him maybe, but showing some good pace here. Zabiaka has joined right on cue. Stevie going as wide as he can, taking a nice line, and that's probably the best I've seen turn 4 sorry, is already flat on the power, is Stevie. This is looking like a really good lap. He sweep through the apex. Milan goes into third with a 12.4. Maybe the track is drying out a little bit. Stevie is 0.3 up. He's looking to go into about P2 now. But see how much time he can find through this last sector then. It's very assured. Takes it in 5th, so it's just up to 6th. A little bit unstable. Goes down to 3rd. That's the first time I've seen someone do that. But let's see what the time is. And Stevie crosses the line at 112.3. So he is improved by 0.3. He's gone up onto the front row. The Ferrari man. Is he going again? Potentially. Looked like a very good first corner. Mark is down. Milan is actually a 10th up here. So let's stay on with the Dutchman. See what he can produce through turn 7. It actually looks not too bad. Milan is 700s down though. He's lost a little bit of time and he's lifted there. That's not going to be good for him. Going very wide. Stevie's 700s up roughly. Maybe he feels like he can actually step into P1. Goes out wide into turn 7. Trails off the brakes nicely. Oh, but he's actually understeered so much, and he's 0.3 up. But the understeer has killed his lap, and he will have to box. Maybe even go again. I don't know. I think yeah. So he's going to go for the pits now, I believe. Let's see. It's very frustrating for him. No, so he's going to go for another lap. Across the line with a 12.3. I think he backed out a tiny bit though. Wide as he can. That's a bit of a tentative first corner actually. It's an okay exit, but I think he would have expected a bit more. Villeneuve's actually gone into P11 with a 112.7. CV is actually a 10th up, so much better than I thought. Oh, he's hooked the apex really well there. A little bit on the curb, losing him a bit of grip all the way down here. And that's Luke Robertson's got himself up into P4 with a 112.404. So close. 5-6 drivers in a 1 minute 12.4s. It's incredibly tight. But Stevie right now is looking to go into that P1 position. Let's see how much he's up by. He's up by 0.3. So he's on for it now. Let's see if the nerves do not get the better of him. It's looked pretty nice through there. Wide as he can into turn 9. Oh, he's got a really wide entry. He's invalidated it. And he goes into the pits illegally. Yeah, he just swept in a little bit too much, I think, Stevie there. I would have been more cautious. He was going to improve his time regardless, pretty much. JD Bailey's not managed to find time. Let's see what Jacques is doing. So he's on his outlap now. He's got a very free track ahead of him. Let's see what the championship leader can do with this. So into turn 1 now. He's going to go wide, brakes just about 80 meters, and oh, good exit. Don't know. Let's see what the split is as he gets up. It's only one corner, of course, so it's not representative of his whole lap. But he is 200s up now. Seems to brake quite early there. Short shifts into thirds. Oh, and he's gone, and he's lost his wing, and he's very fortunate not to lose his tyre as well. Xhaka with a decent start to the lap has round, and he's going to have to get into the pits to change that because he has not got that much time left. Luke has invalidated his next lap. Is that Rasta? Oh, and Rasta's round as well. That corner proving so tricky for some people. As he needs to be careful of Kronk behind, who's on a lap. He's gone quite wide there. He's backed out. Zabiaka and Rasta were just really in the middle of the track. Not sure what really was happening there. Let's go on board with Filippo now. So the man who stuck it on provisional pole, see if he can find much time. He's 200s up right now. Trail brakes into turn 3, avoiding the lock-up nicely, and he's really early on the throttle. See if he can take this corner better than he has beforehand. Again, they already seen the apex slightly there, but he's got a decent exit to show. 7, can he sweep into the corner? Oh, he's avoided the inside curve. That's looking much better from Filippo. This is looking like a good lap so far. He's 3 tenths up, although we saw his last sector last lap was absolutely fantastic. Can he find any time in this and maybe even got up to P1, which is on for right now? Iron Knight has retired from the session. He will not be improving any further. Filippo coming across the line now. On the back straight, is he going to get into the 111s even? Yes, oh, he's not, but he goes fastest with a 12.0. And what a Stevie, Xhaka, Mark, what's anyone behind him is so close behind. Top 10 within 5 tenths of each other. But Filippo's made the early mark. He's going to go for another one. Is he improving? No, he's not. We're going to move away from him. Is that Bailey crossing the line now? Yes, it is. Milan, what split is he doing? He's done a 17.4 again, looking quick, but he's braked very early for that corner. Milan accelerates now. Stevie's actually on a lap, probably hasn't been blocked by Xhaka. No, Xhaka gets out of the way nicely. Stevie's a 10th up. We're going to go on board with him now. Oh, that's a good exit from Stevie. Is he's flying down a back straight now. Definitely saw a time where Filippo lost. I definitely saw places where Filippo lost time. Sorry, in his lap. So I mean, it's not like a perfect lap which he can't beat. And Stevie's been up so many times. He just needs to avoid invalidating now. Good through 7. He's again nearly 3 tenths up. Oh, that's good there. See what he does. He goes wide again. He avoids invalidating though. That's really good from Stevie. He can push it now across the line. A little bit of a mistake for the last corner. He'll get time to go again. Is he going to go fastest? No, he's not. He's 300th behind Felipe. Behind him, Xhaka is starting his final lap of this session. Is Felipe improving on his lap? He's 2,000s up on it. See how Filippo goes through turn 7 from the off-board view. His trail brakes a little bit, shorts just up to 5th. And he's flat on the throttle now. He's a 10.5 up. Is Filippo going to go on board through this last sector? It looked like there was time definitely in here for him. But Filippo is maybe about to claim his 3rd pole position. Stevie has crashed. He is not going to be getting pole position here. But Filippo... Oh, that's really, really good from Filippo. He's definitely going to improve. But what is the time as he comes across the line is a 111.8. He's improved by almost 2 tenths. And now the main responder, Dees, has gone up into P2. I think my Dees has actually outbraked himself massively. Filippo's going yet again, I believe. No, he's not. Let's see what the time is when he crosses the line. No, so he's not going again. Xhaka is 800s up. Is that enough? He might have been blocked by Villeneuve a little bit throughout the lap. Xhaka's going to go into P3, so it's a Red Bull 2-3 right now. These guys are both backed out. Dady Bailey is invalidated. Mark is 100th up. Quite awkward into turn 4 though. Now the checker flag is out. Xhaka retires. Mark, little bit of locking up through there. I think he's quite far down. Yeah, he's about 2 tenths down, so he will not be finding time, although it looked like a decent run through there, unless he can bring out something magical. He might get ahead of Bailey, who is not going to be improving, but he's invalidated there. He's gone off track. But Filippo, yet again, unless Milan has anything to say about it, it does not look like he does. Filippo again is going to be on pole position. This man is relentless with his quali pace. Let's see where Milan goes actually. He goes into P5. Good result for him. But yeah, Filippo P1 on 111.896. Dees are just behind him in the Red Bull, the Polish Red Bull driver. His teammate, his compatriot as well. 3rd with a 112.0. Stevie, who crashed on his last attempt, 4th. Villeneuve moves up into P5, so it's a 4-5 for Ferrari. Milan 6th, Sabiaka 2nd, Mark JD Bailey, sorry, 8th, Mark 9th, and Luke 10th, about, say, 5 tenths off Filippo. It's so close here in Austria, and I hope that's precedent for the great race we're about to witness. So yeah, Filippo, a top three, a Polish top three, great representation for the European country. Stevie 4th, Villeneuve 5th, Milan 6th, Sabayaka 7th, JD Bailey 8th, Mark 9th, Luke Robertson 10th, I'm at 11th, Palcio 12th, Kronk 13th, Mabs 14th, and Rasta is in 15th, 1.8 seconds off the pace. So yeah, an all Polish top three. Let's see if they can finish like that though. We've seen many races in the past that the qualifying order has nothing to do with the finishes in the race, as yeah, it is bone dry. Everyone will have free territory. I believe it's like it's a soft medium here. It's definitely possible. A soft medium is definitely possible, but of course we'll extend tyre wear, who will go for the hards, who will predict a safety car, because I mean I'm sure we're going to be seeing a couple of those today, unless all these men have had a miraculous change in hearts and driving skill over the last week. As the countdown has started now, we're just 10 seconds away from the formation lap going out underway, and the green light showing. So Filippo on the yellow mark medium tyres. Diesel behind is on the softs, so maybe he'll have a lot more pace at the start. Jacques is on the mediums as well. Two Rebels going through alternating strategies. These are a little bit laggy, so the 4 behind Jacques are all on the softs. He's going to be coming under a lot of pressure if he doesn't get a gap early on. Bailey, Mark and Luke in the top 10 are on the mediums. Iron Knight and Palcio chosen for the softs. So yeah, it is actually 50-50, the split between softs and mediums, and Rasta at the end of the field is on the hards, which will not providing much grip, but I'd be surprised if we can get a good result out of those. But of course, nothing is impossible in the world of league racing. Filippo taking him down the back straight now. He's ready to start his 3rd race with no other cars in front of him. But can he do the job and win it this time? It's not going to be easy, but anything is possible. 2 Red Bulls working in tandem behind him will be difficult. I know they're good friends as well, so that's not going to be easy. And I have no real prediction because I have absolutely no idea what's going to happen today. But all I know is that I cannot wait to see it unfold. As we have Rasta lining up on the last space on the grid. We're going to get racing here. I believe this might be a slight bit of lag, but the 5 lights are on here. Here they go, there, away we go. So it's lights out, away we go. Filippo gets a decent start. It looks like he's going to hold back Deezer. Deezer's not going to go for a move down the inside. Oh, he is, and Deezer makes a move. He's pushed Filippo off track. But Filippo stays ahead. Diesel with a very late lunge. He completely cut the first corner. Let's see what Filippo does. He's not even using ERS. And Diesel's going to storm ahead of him. Stevie as well up into P2. They're going to go side by side down into turn 3 here. Diesel goes incredibly wide. And, oh, he's really gone wide there. He's nearly spun straight into Filippo. But Stevie now has the lead of this Grand Prix. It's a fantastic start for the Indian driver. Filippo maintains second behind. He'll be pleased with that given the start. Villeneuve charging behind on Xhaka. Is there going to be contact? No. Villeneuve makes the move clean around the outside. Xhaka behind 4th. Ziza's gone down into 6th already. JD Bailey looking behind him. Diesel with a disconnection icon. That's really weird. As, yeah, Diesel's driving like an AR car now. This is really bad. But Stevie leads this Grand Prix. Filippo 5 tenths back already. Ziza is in the wall. Not exactly sure what's happened to him. I think he might have desynced. Stevie sets a 110.7 as the fastest lap. He's already putting big time into Filippo, but he's already lost nearly 50% of his ERS, would you believe it? And Filippo showing how tactical he is. Diesel has retired and brought out the VSC. I really don't know what's happened to him there. I think it must have been desync, if anything. Yeah, the VSC is out. Of course, drivers will have to be wary of Delta. Let's see the position changes. I think everyone got through that cleanly without damage, hopefully at least. But yeah, Stevie moving up 3 positions. Everyone stayed relatively consistent as the flag's green. No one's got a drive-through penalty. Thank God. Filippo really far behind Stevie already. So Stevie's going to put the time into him while he can before the softs go off, and knowing this game the softs do go off very early. But I mean, of course, Filippo's got an equal gap behind to Villeneuve, so it's not all bad for the Polish man. Xhaka's as well chasing the Portuguese driver despite being on the medium tyre. His pace is just fantastic. Xhaka, he's going to use DRS now. He's probably going to get the move done. Villeneuve's going to deploy the DRS. Xhaka's not closing out much, but he wants to get the move done now. Down the inside goes Xhaka. Into first gear. And yes, he's got the move done, and he's got DRS as well, but Villeneuve is so close to the back of him, and he's got DRS too. They're going to go side by side here, through the back straight, round into turn 4. Villeneuve looks like he's broken later, but Xhaka, well, oh my word, he's made a switchback work. That is a stunning move, but they're going side by side now, and Xhaka, what an absolutely fantastic move there. The switchback, again, a fantastic overtake, 2 weeks in a row for the Polish man. He makes his way up into P3, and he's going to have to hunt down his compatriot in the Mercedes now, without pressure from Villeneuve. But of course there's a big train behind them. Zabiak is getting very close to Milan. They're going to go side by side, and surely Zabiak is going to get ahead here. He is at turn 9. Milan goes incredibly wide, and oh, the rear end really stepped out from the Dutchman there. Stevie ahead's going to be making time. Xhaka gets a 106.9. That's the fastest lap of the race, of course, with the DRS assistance. But yeah, a big train forming behind Filippo. Xhaka's race pace just proving to be so insurmountably strong. He's already closing in bucket loads on Filippo. Let's see if he gets a move maybe done even here. It's a big bit of lag. It's uncomfortable to watch from the spectators box. I think Filippo's got ahead now. I mean, they're going to have to think about conserving ERS. Stevie's managed to do it. Steve and Filippo equal. Xhaka actually behind 20% less, so he's going to be running out of battery if he's not careful. Xhaka gets a 3-second time penalty already. So really bad start for the Polish man. I mean, although he made that great move, he's going to have some explaining to do if he wants to get that away, and he's only in the 4th lap as well. So Xhaka's already got a hindrance of a 3-second time penalty. He really needs to avoid getting more. Villeneuve's losing time. Xhaka, he really isn't. Is he going to go down the inside on Filippo? No, he backs out, and there's a little bit of ghosting, a bit of lag there. But Xhaka now has got DRS on Filippo. He's going to make the move work, but he's already so low on ERS. But Xhaka's going to go down the inside. He's not even going to have to make the move stick. He's ahead, but he gets on the curb, and Filippo therefore comes back with a DRS. Xhaka does have the DRS, so he's probably going to stay ahead now. as Palsy and Iron Knight have already boxed. I believe they must have had contact. Yes, they're fixing on the front wing, at least to Iron Knight. Palsio I don't know about, but he's lost a lot of time. Stevie actually falls within the DRS of Xhaka now, so it's going to be a big train of 6 drivers. And the tyre advantage is going to come into play surely very soon. Xhaka just 7/10ths back. The softs already losing their initial edge. And the fresh mediums. Oh, he has got DRS, so he's going to start closing now, I believe. Filippo's already 8/10ths back. As usual, the race pace of Xhaka is just so strong. But let's see if he can get a better result than last week with all that pace. Look back, Rust is getting very close to the back of Mabs. These two, along with Kronk, having their own little battle, but he gets on the curb quite aggressively. Mabs is going to use his ERS to maybe move down the inside of Kronk as they go side by side into turn 4. Mabs rides over the curb and he has got the move done. Good work from the Williams car as he moves up into the points now. Luke has got a 3-second time penalty, I believe that is. Yes, it is. So 2 drivers already with pens. And Xhaka is just 4/10ths back from Stevie now. Stevie's used all of his ERS in defence. He moves over to try and cover the slipstream, but Xhaka's surely going to get the move done. They gap Filippo as well. Yeah, well, Stevie, no defence. Xhaka moves up into the lead of this Grand Prix. Can anyone challenge him? Can Stevie stay in his DRS? But this guy's race pace is just on another level, really. Stevie solo on ERS. Xhaka's using it to defend now. They're both flashing red lights. Filippo behind with a lot more ERS than them, but he's of course got the Renault, the Alpine and the Ferrari of Zabiaka and Villeneuve behind to deal with. Xhaka sets his personal best middle sector. Storming through now. He's just gained almost 8/10ths on Stevie. I mean, this guy's race pace is just on another level, although I do believe the softs are starting to fall off now. As, yep, Xhaka sets his personal best of the race of 106.7. Very consistent pace at the minute. Zapiaka gets a penalty, goes slightly wide there, but is he going to be able to get a move done on Filippo? He has no ERS. Filippo is deploying a considerable amount. Zabiaka's going to go for the move round the outside here. Filippo has just stuck his car perfectly defensively, and Zabiaka's in the curb and he's hit Filippo. The traction is really bad for the Polish driver. Finnish driver. Is Villeneuve going to go down the inside? Zabiaka's going to go down the inside of Filippo. Little lock-up, they make a bit of contact. This looks like surely a collision is going to happen here. They're going to go side by side into turn 7. Zabiaka's got ahead, but Filippo. Zabiaka trying to go around the outside, and he has not made it work. Filippo has got ahead. Iron Knight is retired from the session at turn 1. Is that going to be a safety car? Yes, it is. It's a safety car. So what's going to happen now? Is Stevie going to go for the pits? Xhaka stays out. Stevie stays out. Filippo stays out. Zabiaka's going to box. Villeneuve boxing. Milan staying out. So yeah, strategy really comes into play here. I think the guys stopping now would probably have to go onto the hard tyre, and that is not what they would have wanted in foresight of this race. Let's see. They are preparing the mediums. Villeneuve's are preparing probably the hard tyre. So Villeneuve going for the hard. Zabiaka going for a very risky strategy on the mediums. I don't know if he'll be able to make that last, but of course if he does, it would be a master stroke. This map goes onto the soft, so he's going to have some pace to work with. Let's check comments, let's check what people have been saying. There's a Phone sound, what a save. I apologise. I apologise for the late coming. What a commentating. Thanks, Ference. I know you're not watching, but thank you anyway. Luke has gone into the pits. He's going on to another set of mediums. I have no idea why, because he can't do that if he wants to go for the one stop, so he's going to have to box again. Safety car coming in this lap. Let's see what Xhaka does to see from Stevie's perspective actually. Xhaka's staying unusually close to the safety car, implying that he's going to want to go late. So yeah, safety car is going to pull off now. And now Xhaka goes. Can Stevie follow him? On the soft, Stevie gets a little bit out of shape, but he's still getting time on Xhaka with the slipstream. They're going to go down into turn one now. See if everyone keeps their position. No one seems to be going side by side. Maybe actually a bit further back. Zabayaka is very close to the back of Villeneuve. Villeneuve goes a little bit wide, and Zabayaka is definitely going to be able to make a move behind Stevie. He's close to Xhaka. He's surely going to send it down the inside here. But he goes completely over the curve. Xhaka goes wide. And Filippo as well, so close to the rear wing of Stevie. Is he going to go down the inside? And Milan as well, having a look in. Filippo lets Stevie go for now. All drivers only on about 70% ERS. Xhaka ahead, able to gain so much time from the battle behind him. He's got 5/10 in hand now. Stevie is almost 3/10 through that corner. Xhaka's almost breaking out of DRS. The softs are really going off now, I think, as Stevie looks like he might have cut that corner. Milan gets a 3-second time penalty now. Zabayaka, is he going to catch up to Kronk? He's on much fresher medium tyres. Kronk's got all of the RS though. I think Zabayaka still might make a move. He does, and it's a late move actually, but he's made it work. I think it's a good overtake from Zabayaka. He moves up into P7, gets the move down, and Mabs as well gets ahead of Kronk, who's slightly compromised there I think by the Alpine. Stevie as well has gained a fair bit of time on Xhaka through this stint. Filippo has lost out to Milan, but he's gaining big time on the exit of turn 4 here. These two are having a really good battle now. I think the tyres are fairly similar. Mediums maybe slightly quicker at this point. But you can just see for that corner, I mean, Stevie's losing about 2/10 to Xhaka. That's where all the time is coming from. Xhaka's so much more willing to just throw the car through there. I think that's the difference between him and the rest of the guys in the championship right now. It's just ability to just throw the car into every corner and come out with the rear end facing the right way. I mean, Stevie doesn't lose time on any other part of the track. He has DRS now, of course, which means that he might be able to stay with the Red Bull for as long as he can. He's going to have to box soon, though, onto the mediums. I mean, they'll be lasting from any time round about now. Villeneuve and Kronk going side by side. Villeneuve short shifting, but Kronk gets ahead, although he does not have DRS. So the Portuguese man on the hard is going to move up into P9 here. Yes, he does. Good work from Villeneuve, but Kronk comes back at him a little bit. TV and Xhaka breaking away as would be expected. But yeah, again, Stevie just dirty air maybe, but he just loses so much time through that corner. Oh no, he's gone. Stevie's gone, and he's gone into the wall. That's an incredible crash. I have no idea how his tyres come off there, but Stevie just loses the rear end slightly, and he is out of the Austrian Grand Prix. That's devastating. I don't understand how that's happened, but yeah, so unfortunate for him. Stevie right on the pit injury. I mean, how that's not a safety car is completely beyond me. Luke Robertson's backing out very weirdly. Filippo's going to make the move on Milan down the inside, but Milan's going to come back at him. He's got the DRS assistance. Filippo again managing his DRS really well. Is Milan going to go around the outside? Yes, he is. Is he going to cut inside? Yes, he is. Not leaving too much space. Goes a little bit wide as well. But Filippo is fully behind him now by at least a car length, so there will be no challenge from the Mercedes at this point. Milan on the softs as well. I mean, he's getting close to the point where he's going to have to box onto fresh mediums. Maybe going to try and extend that, try and get close to Xhaka, try and hold off Filippo a bit. Who knows? Is he going in now? No, he's not. He stays out. But Filippo's got a much better exit, and then he's going to be regaining the P2 at this corner. No, he isn't. He backs out. Milan low on the RS though. Filippo is now going to get the move done into turn 3, even before turn 3 at turn 2. And is that Zabiaka storming through on the inside? He's not going to send it on Filippo. No, surely not. Milan, or a little bit aggressive down the outside. Milan actually has to go wide, and that's lost in the place to Zabiaka. Zabiaka moves up into P3, and now he's hot on the heels of Filippo, of course, on the fresh medium tyres. Oh my god, it's a crazy move, and Filippo just goes straight back. He's braked way too late there. Zabiaka, a full lock up, and yeah, Filippo gets back into second place. Moving like that will not get you anywhere, although Filippo steps out on the exit a little bit. Allows Zabiaka to gain so much time on the exit. He's got a fantastic exit on new tyres. He's going to try and go alongside Filippo. This might end in a crash. You know, I'm slightly worried about it. Zabiaka backs out. His intelligent Kronk has retired. Kronk has crashed. Doesn't look like a safety car. He's actually retired on Troll. It's a VSC. Milan goes into the pits. That's going to be huge for Milan. Milan's only going to gain time under the VSC. He's boxed at the perfect time here. Could see the Dutchman get a few places. He's going to have clean air to run into as well, I believe. This report from Deezer saying that Stevie had crashed him. I don't know if... As Milan is out now. See the gap to the leader. I think that must be about 25 seconds. The stop at Austria, and he's 19.6 behind. Xhaka and Filippo are swapping places all the way. Zabiaka's got the inside line, and Zabiaka charges through into P2. His pace has really improved. Xhaka's actually lost a lot of time under the VSC, by the way. He must have had to avoid getting a drive through with the old Delta glitch. Zabiaka, yeah. He's already 1.1 to Xhaka. He's using all of his DRS. Xhaka's saved so much of his DRS for the VSC, to be fair. So he's going to have a lot more of that to play with. 6 of the 11 drivers left now have penalties as Rasta picks one up. Luke already on 9 seconds. That's a disaster for him, really. Zabiaka actually might break into the DRS of Xhaka unless the Polish driver can really come out with some pace at the minute. I think Zabiaka's going for the one stop, but he's going to have to keep behind a lot of charging drivers There's also checking Milan has gained about 4 seconds on these guys, so he's also in a very good position to come out in a good position in this race. But of course, nothing can be predicted. Filippo just 6 tenths back from Zabiaka. Are we going to see stops on the mediums soon? Maybe about 15 laps, 14 laps on the softs before they go. Who knows? Oh my god. Liv Diesel was completely desynced from everyone. I believe I've lost a lot of time to Xhaka though. Zabiaka. So close to JML Xhaka there. Xhaka stays ahead. JD Bailey gets ahead of Filippo. So now the Englishman goes into the podium positions once again. He's having a consistent race as always. Zabiaka so close to Xhaka now. Let's see if he can be patient. He's seen him try a couple moves and he goes a little bit wider. Just as I say, that commentator's curse strikes. Although he's going to get a decent exit, he's not lost too much time. A big step out for the Finn for sure, but actually he hasn't lost too much because of it. I think he's outbraked himself slightly. The turn 1, Xhaka's going to get a better exit, but now the ERS is going to be deployed. I think Xhaka's going to let Zabiaka go. Yes, he is, as Sebastian Jokinen goes down the inside of Xhaka and gets into the lead of this Grand Prix, but it's not over yet. Xhaka now using ERS. All he's got really, Zabiaka moves over to the inside line. Zabiaka's going to go clean around the... Xhaka's going to go around the outside. And he makes the place stick. Good work from the Polish man. As sorry, getting these two not confused is incredibly difficult. Zabiaka gets another time penalty. That's not going to do him any good whatsoever. Whereas Milan's just 11.9 seconds behind the... top guys here. Zabiaka's going to go side by side with Xhaka there. That's interesting decision. He's got a better exit though through turn 9, sorry. Has a look at the inside but decides not to go for it wisely. Oh, he's just outbraked himself a little bit. He's getting much worse exits here, but he's still got the DRS. He's still got the ERS that he's going to keep deploying no matter what. And is he going to make the move down the inside of Xhaka? Yes, he is. Xhaka brakes early. Oh, he slides a little bit. The old medium tyres catching up with him, and Zabiaka's probably going to keep the lead unless... Oh no, Xhaka's still going to go down the inside. Zabiaka defends the outside quite well with a late braking move, and Xhaka for now is not able to fight back. Yeah. Zabiaka's rear light flashing everywhere now. He is not in the best situation when it comes to ERS. See when the 4 medium runners in between 2 and 5 are going to box. I think it should be quite soon now. I think Xhaka's going to try and stay in the DRS of Zabiaka though, because they are clearing Bailey and Filippo about 2 seconds ahead now. Pausio's gone into the box, so he's... I don't know if he's got damage or not. Mavs breaks the speed limiter sign. That's not too helpful. Filippo makes the move on JD Bailey. Lee Robinson gets another 3 second time penalty. Mark's going to go for a switchback, but he's not able to pull the move off. Still, Bailey, is he going to go for Filippo? No, he's not. He's got slightly less ERS as well, and they're going to conserve for now. Zabiaka out in front on the fresher medium tyre. So there's been a spin. Sorry, I've missed that. Filippo has spun off the exit of turn 9, and he's going to come straight into the box with the softs, but it's lost him a big chunk of time again. The pole sitter with some was really devastating rows in the race. He's going to go into the softs now. He has to stick 14 laps on them, but also that implies that it might be time to come in for some of the other big guns like Xhaka, JD Bailey and Mark. Milan and Villeneuve going side by side. Milan, of course, with a big advantage in this race. He's got a really good exit as well. He's got the DRS. Villeneuve, no response. And is that Rasta? Rasta's gone off as well on the hard tyre. I knew that he struggled for grip. He's going to come in now. He should not have been on that tyre in the slightest. In any situation, sorry. And, well, yeah, he might just scuppered his chances. Zabiaka flying through. He's 1.6 clear of Xhaka. Is Xhaka going to come into the pits? He's almost got 100% ERS. His MFD's telling him to. Yes, he is. So Xhaka will box this lap. Milan gets 9 seconds of penalties. JD Bailey and Mark also choose to box. So now it's crunch time. Let's see when Milan comes out ahead of these guys. I mean, he's level with them. He's not going to stop again. He's nowhere near going to have to stop again. How many penalties do they have? Milan has 9 seconds though. GML Xhaka with 3. Let's see how much time he has to catch up in order to go with Milan. He's almost 10 seconds down. So right now I don't know who's going to win the race. I think it's probably going to be Zabiaka, but of course he has to make those tyres last another, I believe, 13 laps. I think it's possible for sure. If he just really conserves towards the end, he is definitely going to have a chance of doing that. Villeneuve as well is going to have some pace. Well, he's not going to have issues with Ero, I don't believe, on the hards. You can go almost the entire race on those, so he's going to be fine. Just has to worry about trying to stay ahead of Xhaka for as long as he can, so he can take advantage of the time penalties that people have got. Although, I mean, you can tell he's really struggling for grip. JD Bailey's actually gained a fair bit of time in the pits on Xhaka, about maybe 2 seconds, slightly less. So he's got it now. He's got a good advantage now. It just really depends if Zabiaka punches, if they're able to just stick the tyres out until the end of the race. Of course, soft runners will be gaining all the time with the extended grip that they have available to them. No one is within a second of each other. Palcio's on the mediums, as is Shade Mabs, so they're going to be slightly down to the softs at first, although the mediums I think will maybe have a little bit more grip and rubber attached to them at the end of the race, so it's going to be interesting to see that for certain. Mark is really closing in on Palcio. JD Bailey's actually closing a bit on Xhaka, so good work from him, although ERS count is slightly, well, fairly in Xhaka's favour as JD Bailey understeers and probably gets a warning there, so he's really going to have to be careful to avoid getting a time penalty. Mark, 106.1, he's got some pace right now. Palcio's flashing on ERS, I think Mark's going to be able to make the move, but no, he goes wide. He bottles the braking zone, and now he's going to have to try and get Palcio maybe into turn 3 unless he can gain some serious pace. He's going to go for the move down the inside. No, he stays back for now. Good decision from Mark. Now with the ERS and the DRS, he's maybe going to be able to close them down. I'd use more ERS there, Mark. I mean, he's not going to be able to go down the inside like that. Palcio's way too far ahead of him. As Jacques has already gained about 5 seconds of Villeneuve, the Ferrari's pace is going to be crumbling here. Bailey has unsurprisingly lost some time as Jacques has deployed a fair bit of ERS that lap. Palcio gets another 3-second time penalty, so he's now on 12 seconds. He's losing places to all of the cars behind him. Mark, Mabs and Filippo, bad for him. Villeneuve, the highest placed driver on the grid without penalties right now. Although Zabiaka is certain to win if he does not puncture or crash. Mark gets a 3-second time penalty. That's his first one of the race, and it's going to lose him some big time. Again, Mark is wasting his DRS. He's not getting the exits he should be doing on the softs, and he's not able to counteract Palcio. So, not good for Mark. He is really stuck behind. He's losing a lot of time to his competitors now. A lot more time than he had before. So now he really has to put in some work to get back up to where he should be in this race, given the pace he's had. Right, now is he going to get the move done? He makes a bit of contact with Palcio, who's on the outside. Didn't look like too much of a deliberate collision, but it's not great either for Mark. Is he going to go down the inside? No, he is too far back, obviously, sorry. Of course he's going to be finishing well ahead of Palcio in terms of penalties, but he actually has to get past him if he wants to go any better than P6 right now. Of course, he's got Mavs and Filippo behind, who will be pushing to get in that 3-second range. Neither of them have penalties. Milan's actually closing a fair bit on Zabiaka. I mean, just about a tenth of that corner. So yeah, 7-lap difference in their tyre wear. Milan's going to be nowhere near punching, but can't say the same for Zabiaka, unfortunately. Luke gets another time penalty, as does Rasta. So yeah, just 4 drivers remaining without time penalties. So that's going to be a really big impact, as Bailey is only flittering between 3 and sub 3 seconds for his gap with Xhaka. So I'm not sure what could be going on there. Could we even see Bailey beating Xhaka? Love to see it. I mean, Xhaka really seen insurmountable at some point in the season, particularly in a couple of races ago in Baku, where he won the race by almost 40 seconds. Of course, due to strategy, but his race pace was there as well. Milan's closing a lot on Zabiaka now. I mean, he's looking dead set to be at least next to him by the end of the race. Zabiaka really does have to avoid getting a penalty. Xhaka's closing as well a lot on Villeneuve. He can definitely see the rear wing of that Ferrari right now. Bailey's dropped out of the gap a fair bit now, but if Villeneuve holds Xhaka up, then it could give the Brit an opportunity to push back into that 3-second gap. Mark's still behind Palcio. Palcio doing a really good job. Is that a Haas that's gone off? It's yes, Luke Robertson. He is off the track, and it's really just been a miserable afternoon for him. 15 seconds of penalties, hard tyres, and I don't know if he'll be finishing the race, to be honest. He has no front wing. No, Luke's going to stay out and go for the fastest lap, maybe. Gap now 3 seconds between Milan and Zabiaka. It is closing all the time. Xhaka, let's see him. He's going to be making a move on Villeneuve, most likely, as Luke retires in the pit box as expected. Oh, it's a really good exit. Villeneuve has no response to that from Xhaka, and he's just going to make a simple move. He's losing barely any time from that. And yeah, well, Xhaka moves up into P3, but can he close in enough on the guys with more penalties ahead of him to win this race? Who knows? He needs about... He's in Milan's range at the minute, and he needs about 4 more seconds to get within Zabiaka. I definitely think that's possible. If Villeneuve stays in DRS, I mean, maybe he can... I mean, I really doubt he will stay in DRS, to be fair. Given the pace that Xhaka does have, yeah, you can see him dropping back time all the way. So the race currently looks like it will go to Xhaka. As Luke Robertson leaves with our only 10 runners left in the race. Villeneuve just out of DRS now. Has he got it for this? No, he doesn't. So those extended DRS count may help him out. Villeneuve is out of the DRS of Xhaka, although he's not out of the penalty range. Let's see, those hards will surely be going off a cliff as he goes incredibly wide there. He's going to lose a lot of time. Yes, he doesn't. Xhaka must have got a really dodgy exit there. But yeah, let's see what Villeneuve does. I mean, he did actually get DRS down there, so not all hope is lost for the Portuguese man to get even a decent result out of this. Mark and Palcio going side by side. Palcio's going to move through on the outside. Mark getting very close to the side pod of the Alfa Romeo. Let's hope they don't crash going side by side through here. Palcio always wants to stick a wheel in, has got ahead of Mark, opportunistic from the pole, but he's done well. I don't know why he's trying so hard to keep him behind, to be honest, with the penalties that he's got. Wouldn't it just be better to let him through and focus on the gap? Yeah, just give me like 5 minutes, yeah? Yeah. See if Mark can get him now. Yeah, Palcio's had a really bad exit. This is surely going to be the move for Mark. He's got the DRS. Palcio has nothing to defend with, really. And Mark squeezes through into turn 3. He's gone wide, though. Again, he's not getting the right exit. Palcio has DRS. Is he going to be able to fight back? This is a lovely battle developing between these two. He's going to go around the outside. Here is Palcio. Oh, he closes in a little bit and he's made contact. Mark saved it. I think Palcio definitely closed the door way too much there. On Mark Stuanagle as he locks up as well. So yeah, Palcio keeps the position, but from some slightly over opportunistic driving, really. Xhaka's really not gaining time now. He needs a lot more time to get into the gap that Xhaka is providing, right? Yeah, to get into Xhaka's gap, he needs still 4 seconds. So right now, Zabiaka's still down to win the race. Villeneuve's still down to maybe he can come second right now. Xhaka really needs to get a move on if he's going to actually do something meaningful to him. Zabiaka's really found some pace at the end of this Grand Prix. Of course, if he gets another penalty, it is game on between him and Milan. Yeah, Jakob was gaining really no time in comparison to the Finnish Alpine man. This Milan, he's gone straight across that corner there. That's 100% a warning. Yes, just outside of a second. Filippo gets a 3-second time penalty, so he will not be able to challenge Mark. A disaster for the Mercedes, who was doing so well. He's right up amongst it, and just a spin caught him out, and he couldn't compete any longer. Milan is out of ERS, so is Zabiaka, so they should be pretty close to each other now on pace. Milan should still be faster. Yeah, well, Milan's breaking into the DRS range. Is he going to be able to get through? Xhaka is now 6 seconds behind, but he still needs another 1.5 a lap. I mean, the only way that Xhaka wins this is if these two just keep battling for positions, and I don't really see the point of that because Milan has 9 seconds of penalties, whereas Zabiaka has 6. So yeah, these guys are going to have to really think out these last 2 laps, maybe cooperate a little bit to try and get at least, keep the points away from Xhaka, who's just storming away with the championship right now. I think Bailey's going to be able to get quite close to Villeneuve if he can find some pace for the last few laps. He might even get through Xhaka's gap, who knows. But Milan, here he goes, running outside on Zabiaka. Zabiaka's backed out very heavily there. I think maybe for the better, although he's going to have lost an absolute mountain of time to the Red Bull. Zabiaka, I think, letting him through maybe for the DRS on the last lap, maybe because Milan is lower on ERS. And right now Zabiaka doesn't have to worry too much because he is on to win this Grand Prix by we've got a margin of about 2.3 seconds. So he's got time. Maybe he's going to let Milan run away with it. Maybe try and run his own way. So the only way that Zabiaka doesn't really win this is if he makes a big mistake or gets another track limits penalty, and then it's all back in the balance again. He's going to stay in the DRS of Milan in the Aston Martin. Gets the throttle down early. Yeah. Very clever driving from Zabiaka on the whole. Today he's going to be rewarded unless some disastrous error happens. Jaylee's got ahead of Villeneuve. They're going to go side by side. Villeneuve's going to want to get that position desperately. I just don't think it's going to happen for him though. Bailey low on the RS, but Villeneuve's just not deploying. He's backed out. Villeneuve wants to let Bailey through clearly, or he's at least not willing to battle, not willing to sacrifice his P5 position up in front. Milan's going to cross the line first right now, but there's going to be a winner of this race, and he's driving the Alpine car, the only Alpine driver today. He's going to come through the last corner now, and if he keeps it clean, he's going to win this Grand Prix. I think he was just about in low fuel mode. I think Xhaka gets ahead of Milan, 1.1 seconds back from Zabiaka, but Zabiaka has won the Austrian Grand Prix. Great work from him, his first win of the season. Xhaka with a great result in P2, managed to salvage something, especially getting that penalty from early. Did not exceed track limits again once. So yeah, great job to the Polish man. But yeah, Zabiaka wins from fairly far down on the grid, I believe. Xhaka second, Milan third, and we will go through the full race results once we've seen the podium. But yep, Finnish man on the top step for the first time. He's shown his good pace, but he hasn't really been able to match it with good results. But this is his first big win in a while. Zabiaka wins the Austrian Grand Prix on penalties. So Zabiaka P1, Xhaka 2, Milan 3, JD Bailey 4th, only 2.2 seconds off the lead. It was so close in the top 4. Villeneuve stuck it on the hards. P5, Mabs did really well to get up all those positions from 14th. He finishes P6. Filippo 7th. Again, what could have been for the Polish man? Disastrous in comparison to his qualifying. Marks P8, Pausio P9, and Rasta P10. The rest of the guys DNF'd, unfortunately. But yeah, thank you for watching. We'll be back with you next week. If I check the calendar incredibly quickly, we have the French Grand Prix. See you.